Hello friends, this video on laws of motion part 17 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos from part 1 to 16 before going ahead with 17. Now that we have almost covered all our studies and the topics related to friction, we will have to look at certain problems. Now, before going in depth to solve numerical problems, I will give you certain tips to solve problems related to laws of motion as well as friction. So quickly recall the topics which we studied, that is the three laws of motion, first law, second law, third law, friction, types of friction, because the numericals will be based upon all these topics. So let us quickly have a look at the tips. The first thing which you need to do while solving a problem related to motion or kinematics is draw a free body diagram. What is a free body diagram? Free body diagram is nothing but whether you have a question related to a truck moving, a car moving, or a man moving, whatever it is, you just draw a free body diagram. You just indicate the body, that is the box or the car or the plane or whatever. You just denote it with some box and you indicate all the forces that is acting on that body and also write the magnitude as well as direction of the forces. So this rough diagram which you make is referred to as the free body diagram. Things will become clearer as we keep solving numericals. The next thing is indicate the magnitude of the forces acting on the bodies. Let us suppose a book is lying on a table. Now if a book is lying on the table, there will be a force which will be acting downwards, that is due to the weight of the book, that is mg. There will be a normal reaction force acting upward which will arise due to the surfaces being in contact. So while drawing a free body diagram, you should indicate the magnitude of the force acting on the bodies. Indicate the direction of the forces acting on the bodies as I did just now. Magnitude as well as direction of the forces. Write equation of motion for each of the bodies. Now let us suppose I am taking this simple example. In this case, let us say the body is at rest. There is no external force acting. That means there is no external force applied in the horizontal direction. And we already know if a body is at rest and there is no external force applied, in that case there will be no frictional force. So in this case, the equation of motion in the vertical direction would be N, that is the normal, will be equal to mg. So this is how we wrote the equation of motion. So first we draw a free body diagram. We indicate the magnitude of the forces acting on the body. We also indicate the direction of the forces. Then we write the equation of motion for each of the bodies. Now equate equal and opposite forces along a specific axis, x-axis or y-axis. For example, this normal and this mg, they both are acting along y-axis. So we equated them. But let us suppose if there is a force, capital F is applied on the body in the horizontal direction, we cannot this force with normal because this is acting along x-axis. So we can only equate the forces along one particular axis. If we are talking of x-axis, we can equate all the forces which are acting along x-axis. Similarly, if we are talking of y-axis, we can only deal with all the forces which are acting along the y-axis. Now, we have already discussed one example here. Let us discuss one more example which is very similar to that. A book of mass 1 kg is at rest on the table. Let us make a clearer diagram here. Let us suppose this is a book of mass 1 kg. So, there will be a force mg which will act in this direction. The value of m is 1. That means mg will be 1 into g, that is g. There will be a normal reaction force which will act in this direction. Since the body is at rest, nothing else will act here. So therefore n is equal to g. This would be the equation of motion for this particular example. Now let us look at few more tips to solve problems. Now we will see the scenario of two bodies which are connected by string through pulley. Somewhat like this. Let us suppose we have a pulley. Let us suppose we have a pulley and we have two objects which are attached via string through this pulley. Now let us suppose this is M1 and this is M2. So you will normally come across several types of numericals related to this pulley things. So we will give you certain tips which will be generalized, which will be true for all such pulley problems. First thing, if the pulley is frictionless, if the problem says that this pulley is frictionless, in that case, the tension of the two strings will be equal. Before I say that, let me explain. Let us suppose if there are two bodies which are attached through a pulley. Now the forces which will be acting on the two bodies are, on this body there will be a force, that is a weight acting downwards, which is M1G. Similarly for this body there will be a force acting downwards, M2G. For this body there would be a tension force. You heard of this term tension when I was talking of contact force. This is an example of a contact force. This force comes into play when two bodies are in contact with each other. This string is in contact with this body and this string passes over this pulley. So whenever you have a pulley problem, there will be a tension force which will act towards the center of the pulley or towards the pulley. So for this is the tension force. For this M2, there will be another tension force T2. Now we come to the different cases. In the first case, we say if the pulley is frictionless, in that case, T1 will be equal to T2. That means the value of the tensions will be equal. Irrespective of, even though M1 and M2 are different masses, the value of the tensions on the two masses will be equal. Also, in case of a pulley problem, let us suppose since a weight is acting in this direction, so this body will accelerate in this direction, that is this body will move in this direction, so it will have some acceleration, say A1. Similarly, if this body is coming down, then this will go up, so this will have an acceleration in the upward direction, let us say A2. Now if we say that the pulley is frictionless, in that case T1 is equal to T2 and also A1 will be equal to A2. That is the acceleration for the two bodies. However, they will be in different opposite directions, but the values will be the same. Let us consider the second case, that is the pulley is not frictionless. Now, if the pulley is not frictionless, in that case, T1 is not equal to T2 and also A1 is not equal to A2. Let us take the third case where M1 is greater than M2. Now, if M1 is greater than M2, in that case, how would the figure be? If M1 is equal to M2, let us draw the figure separately, then you will get a better understanding. Let us suppose M1 is greater than M2. In that case, this force, that means this M1G will be greater, since M1 is more, that is M1 is heavier, so it will have a tendency to come downward because the mass is more. Therefore, in that case, this M1 will come down. It will move downwards. That means the acceleration A1 will be downwards, whereas M2 will move up. So the acceleration will be upward. So if M1 is greater than M2, in that case M1 moves vertically downwards and M2 moves vertically upwards. Now let us take the fourth and the last scenario where M1 is less than M2. This is exactly this scenario. M1 is less than M2. So in this case, M2 moves vertically downwards and M1 moves vertically upwards. So these are the certain points which are universally true. So you should always keep them in mind before you go ahead to solve numerical problems. So this is one scenario where two bodies are connected via string through a pulley. Now let us look at another scenario which will be helpful to solve the numerical problems. Here we say two bodies are connected through string such that one lies on the smooth horizontal surface. So here we are considering the scenario something like this. Let us suppose this is one object M1. This object is lying on a surface and this object is connected via a pulley to another object say M2. So this is a surface over which M1 is lying and it is connected via string through a pulley to another object M2. So in this case, the first case we consider is if the pulley is frictionless. Now if the pulley is frictionless, here again, in this case also we will have this tension T2 for M2. This will have the weight acting downwards, that is M2 into G. Here also we will have the tension T1 acting in this direction. So if the pulley is frictionless, in that case T1 will be equal to T2 and also A1 will be equal to A2. Let us suppose A1 is the acceleration associated with M1 and A2 is the acceleration associated with M2. So if the pulley is frictionless, in that case T1 equal to T2 and A1 is equal to A2. If the pulley is not frictionless, in that case obviously T1 will not be equal to T2 and also A1 will not be equal to A2. Now let's talk about the motion of M1 and M2. In this case, the motion of M2 will be in the vertical direction, whereas the motion of M1 will be in the horizontal direction. That is, if M2 moves downwards, so M2 moves down, then M1 moves towards right. That means M2 is moving like this, that is A2 is like this, then A1 will be this way, that is it will move towards right. So this is how the motion will be governed. So I have already discussed certain tips which you need to follow to deal with the numerical problems which we are going to discuss hereafter. So now let us look at the first problem. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.